Hi there, I'm Mahibi, I'm the C Coach, and welcome back to part two of the coaching approach to successful assignment. So we're still in part two of the 100-day planning, and in the previous video we looked at the key considerations around learning the new organization's culture and ecosystem, and in this video we're going to be looking at aligning those measurements of success. So, measurements of success and clearly defined objectives are key throughout the time frame of an assignment. These promote both career development and a return on investment for both parties. Without agreed ways of measuring success, the business risks talent churn on repatriation. If the individual doesn't experience self-development or feels undervalued by the lack of opportunities that are presented at the end of assignment, this results in a sense of loss of belonging and identity. This in turn risks a real lack of motivation, minimizing any desire to stay loyal. So we've covered this point in some detail in part one, and we're talking about having objectives and an overarching goal talked about and aligned right from the beginning. And what we're doing at this point is evaluating it. We're understanding and measuring some of those success measures already. We've come to the end of the 100 days and we can look at what's been successful and how we move forward. So what was agreed up front? Is it relevant? Is it still valuable? And is it a good measure? The coaching approach as we know it is person-centric. So we put the person at the heart of the assignment. And with this focus, we have visibility of their purpose, their mission, their legacy, what's important to them, and understanding how the legacy of the assignment can provide a sharper focus to the person. We are more productive, energetic, fulfilled, intentional when we have clarity of our purpose, or we want to leave our mark behind. What is our legacy? And this legacy needs to be measurable. How do we measure ongoing objectives that support this aligned legacy? And lastly, this follows on to revisiting those objectives throughout the assignment as best practice. And with our coaching approach, we want to ensure these smoothly tie into repatriation in some way. The legacy needs to connect to the opportunity in home country. Otherwise, we'll miss our return on investment. We'll only realise the value whilst the person is on assignment. A consideration of design is ensuring that the measurements of success are truly ambitious. The very nature of going on assignment is the foundation of learning, growth, and aligning to values of adventure and excitement. So putting up a mirror to the KPIs, are they truly ambitious enough for both the individual and also the organisation? Our coaching approach highlights that growth and learning is also part of the heart of the move. And so let's truly reflect that and acknowledge that by both parties by putting them into the measures of success. This is the real coaching approach. What is happiness? This is personal to the individual, and this is personal to the life experience of that person. Focusing on what makes the person happy at the end and throughout the assignment means that we're more likely to build it into the required internal and external factors of a plan, and it will reflect in the objectives. Ensuring that a measure of success reflects the feeling of the person being content, fulfilled, happy. It might seem fluffy, but it's definitely better to have a happier employee at the end rather than a sad, disappointed, and potentially angry one. And we know, and we'll explore this more in part three, that when we get to the point of repatriation, it's very likely that the employee and their partner, wider family, are essentially going through a grieving process. So how do we protect the experience and ensure that we're focusing on the person being happy? So we've highlighted this already throughout part two. Let's be proactive and diarise checkpoints, revisit the objectives, being agile where we need to be. This is about collaboration. It's about realignment of value, realignment of the legacy, what matters to both parties. We need to know what our investment is going to yield. This is applicable also in those cases where the employee may decide that actually, for them and their wider family, their partner, it's better to stay in destination and they don't want to repatriate to their home country. This could be the perfect move for them, for their future. And so, is the organisation agile enough to account for this scenario? And are they truly open to amending their success measures based on this if it came to it, so that the organisation can truly still benefit on return of ROI? So, albeit it might not be the original one, but there is an opportunity to continue benefiting on a return on investment. And this could be around staying in destination. So here it is, the key reflective points in regards to alignment of measuring success. So how do we support an individual's legacy or purpose in an assignment? Are you building it into objectives? And if so, how often are they revisited? How agile and open is the organisation to redesign objectives and what ROI is as well? How do you align success measures between the organisation and the individual? And again, what's missing in current immigration and global mobility policies that could easily be integrated? And what's the action points, projects, initiatives that require collaboration and sign-off across the wider organisation to improve planning? Thank you very much for joining me in part 2.4, where we have looked at alignment of measuring success. And in the final point to part 2, we'll be looking at the benefits of having a blended approach of coaching and mentoring to ensure the success of the assignee experience.